Hello tarot readers, welcome to my channel again. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to do something a little bit different, which is pull a card for you, and it's going to be a message of the day. And this is valid for any day that you actually watch this video for the first time. I'm using my Light Seers Tarot and I'm absolutely falling in love with this deck. I used it the whole day yesterday and I did some amazing readings with it. Beautiful inspirational deck. The card stock is still terrible, but you can watch my review on this deck on my channel. It's there somewhere. If you click on it somewhere, it'll be there, and you can watch the whole review of this deck. And the reason I thought I would pull a card for you and give you a message is it would be a nice way just for you to be able to see the cards a little bit more and to see how I work with the cards and also receive a message at the same time. The way I'm going to be doing this is using my own basic meaning of this tarot cards, but also pulling on the artist inspiration, and there's a lot of artist inspiration to pull on in this deck, and also a little bit of my intuition. So we're going to use a little bit of everything to give you a message. Now today's message is going to be a little bit of advice for you, so you know, something that you can pull on to use for advice. So we have three things here. We have a pink butterfly. I thought these were very, very fetching for these cards, this deck of cards. My rose quartz, which I've had for years and years. Absolutely love rose quartz. One of my favourite stones ever. And another butterfly, and this one has got amethyst, little amethyst stones. It's a metal one or silver, and it's got small little amethyst stones in it. So take a moment to think about which one pulls your attention, which one you're drawn to, and I'll leave at the bottom the time link, so if you choose the last one you can just skip right to it. But it'd be nice to watch the whole lot if you do want to know a bit more about these tarot cards and how I work with them. So choose which card you want. I'll give you a second to do that. So now you've been pulled to a card. I'm going to start with the pink butterfly, and this is your card, and your advice card. So what we have here is the 8 of Wands. Look at that card. That card is absolutely beautiful, and it's going to be interesting of how we can get a message from the 8 of Wands. Now what I'm going to do is, obviously my basic meaning of this card is that everything's very, very fast around you at the moment, and things are still very much in the air. They haven't quite reached their potential. Things are kind of happening, but nothing's really happening. Things are on the way, but they haven't yet arrived. So this is the basic meaning of this card, which talks about the 8 wands in the air, bringing you the things that you need in your life to get your projects done, to get your things moving. But with this card, we've got a bit extra going on, because we're seeing the 8 of Wands in a totally different perspective. Normally we get the 8 wands that are either going up or they're going down. You know, they're either just taking off, things are taking off and they're not quite reached their potential, but they're taking off, or things are coming down and they haven't quite reached us yet. They're on the way and haven't quite reached us. But this is a totally different perspective. It's like, in a way, we're underneath looking above. So my advice to you today with this message would be, just wait. Things are on the way. Things are happening fast around you. Things are moving, but just take a moment to see things from a different perspective. Take a moment just to stop looking at and concentrating on the way things are arriving to you. Instead, take a moment to have a little switch, turn around in your mind and look at things from a whole different light, a whole different way of looking at things. These beautiful colours in the cards are reminding me to, I would say to you in this instant, to take a look at your energy and how much energy you're actually focusing on these things that need to be arriving, things that you've got going on in your life. How much energy are you giving to that? Maybe you need to stop for a moment and rebuild up your energy, have a retake, you know, have a little break from so much thinking, you know, when's this coming? How am I going to get that done? How's this going to do? Just stop, take a different perspective and kind of get some energy rebuilt up. And we've got a lot of kind of pinky red going on there, which would tell me that your energy has been burning away quite fast lately. You know, you've got this red energy going on with this burst of pink, so there's nothing negative there, but it is burning away quite fast. So I would say redraw your energy back to you, draw your energy into, you know, the present you, what you're up to now and what you're doing to now. I also got all these little stars going on, these energy sparkles. And when I see these energy sparkles in real life, it's normally spirit are around. A lot of people call them orbs. Some people call them stars of light. Some people flashes of lights, balls of light. But when I see these orbs, and I hope you can see it in this card, when I see these orbs, it's normally spirit there. So I would also say, while you're taking a moment to kind of have a different perspective, to turn things around, to regain your energy, also just take a moment to connect with spirit, because spirit are with you and spirit are around you. So you can maybe talk to them, communicate with them, have a meditation going on. But that's what I would say for your little bit of a message from this deck of cards. Obviously I've not read the book yet. I haven't had a chance to read the book that comes with the deck. Maybe the artist says completely different things about this card in the book. She probably does, but that's just my take on it today. Also, we do have these different coloured ones going on, so that would say to me that there's quite a few projects, there are quite a few things that you've got going on in the air. This isn't just one thing, you know, this isn't, you're not just waiting for one parcel to arrive or one door to open or one work to ring you or one person to contact. You're waiting for a lot of things to come together, a lot of different things, and that does take away our energy. So that would be my little advice card for you today. For those who chose the rose quartz, this beautiful rose quartz, your card, your message of the day is the Judgment card. Look at that card. That's absolutely stunning. This card taught so much to me about spirit and the afterlife. And this card itself, I mean, the general meaning speaks so much to me about waking up in the other world, waking up in a different world, you know, completely having a different outlook on life, being reborn. This is your time of reawakening. This is your time now to be able to say, I feel that there's something different in life. There's something more out there. Maybe you're on a different spiritual path, and it's the time to connect with the spirits around you, connect to your guide, connect to your spirit loved ones. More than anything, let the spirit within you dance. Let the spirit within you soar. So be a little bit more of who you really are. Find that child within and let the child within really have a good play in your life. This card is about, we have that magic. We are that magic. So it's a brilliant card for really finding the true essence of yourself and looking within. I find the Judgment card is that moment where we're really looking at our life and saying, did I do that right? Should I have done that different? Could I have done that different? Why did that happen? So we're kind of judging ourselves, and now we're seeing things so differently. You know, if maybe you've criticised someone in the past and you've recently found that you've had to do exactly the same as what they did, or you've had to walk in their shoes and it wasn't as black and white as you expected, that you had thought it had been. And that happens to us often in our lifetime. And that kind of reawakening to things that are really going on, especially in this mad world where we live in now, this reawakening, opening your eyes, seeing reality, but also having that spiritual connection. I would say to you with the Judgment card to really fall into the spiritual path now. Have a look at the afterlife, you know, investigate a little bit, buy books, read books, watch programs, talk to mediums, talk to people who are connected to the spirit world. And if you're feeling spiritually connected, then maybe it's time to look at your mediumship. You could be your own medium, and this happens with so many people I know that come to me for mediumship, and it turns out that they themselves are also mediums and they can communicate and connect with their own spirit. I believe that we all have the ability to communicate and connect with spirit, and spirit are constantly sending us signs, and this card is about looking out for them signs and being open to that communication and talking back to spirit, you know, really opening the door to having a two-way conversation. So we're in a really great, positive, spiritual awakening if you chose this rose quartz. This is the cards that come out for you. Your message is talk to spirit, communicate with spirit, and let your own spirit sing. that would be your message from this beautiful deck of cards. And for those who chose this beautiful butterfly with the amethyst, your card is, the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords, look at that. Now, the Six of Swords in general is a card about journeying, and that's what the card often talks about. People talk about holidays and going on a journey with this card, but I find it to be so much more than that, because we're talking about swords, and swords is all about the mind. And in this card, the swords are actually, in this deck, the swords are represented by these horrible birds like crows from the Hitchcock films, really scary, freaky little animals. And they do bring a lot of fear in many people. So, you know, that's what she's represented these swords with in this deck of cards. Now, what we can see a lady on a boat, and she's travelling to distant waters. She's travelling somewhere else. She's even got a suitcase with her just to show us that she's travelling. It's a rainy day, this big storm going on, lots of rain. Now, there's three birds behind, I think the crows. The three birds are behind her, but there's another three birds that are actually taking her. So that what this card is saying to you is it's time to move forward. Now, that doesn't have to be a physical move, especially in a reading like this where it's very generalized. Not everybody's going to be able to pack a suitcase and go. But it may be up here. Maybe there's a movement up here in your mind that you have to do about moving forward, leaving behind some of the bad stuff, leaving behind some things that have happened in the past. Some of these birds are full of, you know, all this stress, all this fear, all these thought lines, leaving some of that behind and moving forward, even if it means you have to go through a bit of a storm, moving forward to find some peace. And that's what this card often speaks to me about. I know with the Ancestral Path Tarot that I have, this card really represents the journey of peace and not just a physical journey, which a lot of people do, just, you know, they kind of stamp this card with that meaning. The journey can be physical, but only if it's connected to the mental. We have to take the journey here first. So you can be locked in the home and still find a way to start changing what's going on in the present and where you're heading towards the future. You know, we can all have been in bad situations, negative situations, stressful situations, but it's where you're heading and where you are now that we're focusing on in this card. So if you've chosen this beautiful little butterfly, then it's your time to find peace. It's your time to make changes. And I would also say, because the artist inspiration is in these cards, I would say have a clear out. You know, she's got a suitcase full of clothes, so I would say go through your clothes, go through your wardrobe, go through your home, have a good clear out, get rid of all the stuff that you no longer need, leave energy for the new, and make sure that new is something different, something exciting, something that really feels good to you. Make sure that we have a clean out of the mind. You know, if you're constantly focusing on something bad that happened and you're playing that film constantly all the time, or it's always there, get rid of it. Find a way to say, you know what, that's done, I've lived it, I've watched that film so many times, I'm going to watch something different now. And the fact that she's got this red kind of shawl over her. The red talks a lot about strength and our inner passions. We may have to be strong. Sometimes we don't like to get rid of, you know, we don't like to open a wardrobe and throw away that dress that we've had in there for 20 years that one day we know will fit us. We just keep it there instead, because one day we're going to get thinner or fatter or taller or shorter. One day it'll fit us and we'll wear it again. So we keep that there. We don't like to get rid of things, but the same thing happens here. Sometimes we have these situations that have happened to us, and for some reason, even though it's no longer useful, even though it's no longer valid, even though we'll never go back there, we still keep it going on in our mind. So this card is a really good time to have a clear out, to move forward, to take a life journey, to find some peace and to be strong. We have to have strength to clean that wardrobe and to clean that mess up. We need to have that inner strength. So I hope you really enjoyed these little free card messages. If you do enjoy it, please touch like, please subscribe to my channel, share me around so that other people can find this channel. And if you want more, let me know in the comments and I will do more kind of videos like this, these little free card messages. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.